Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man giving you the truth. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. So listen, you ever heard like a guy tell another guy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Ja Morant because it kind of fits into this subject. You ever heard a guy tell another guy, you not hood, you not a thug, you a wannabe, you ain't street? Well, I kind of want to expound on that theory. And I want to add a twist to this that just like explains it all. For one, let's go from an earthly standpoint. I've worked in jails and I've experienced some of the softest guys that you'll ever see be consistently going to jails and prisons. That don't make you tough. Some of them are tough, but that don't make anybody tough, and nobody's invincible if they're a human being. So this you ain't street thing, I want to tell y'all that nobody's street. Nobody's hood. Anybody that appears to be is a wannabe, and I'm going to explain it in a second. But let's start out with Ja Morant. So people telling Ja Morant, you not hood, you trying to be something you not, you about to blow it, which he is. But who is hood? Let me explain this. When we're born into the world, are we thugs? Are we kingpins? Are we gang members? Are we drug lords? Are we any of those things when we are born? Okay, what about when we're 5 years old? Are we any of those things? See, anybody that appears to be a gang member, thug, street, this, that, and other, maybe by association or maybe by their choices, they are. But anybody who does that is a wannabe, because nobody was created to do that, and neither did they know that when they were born. Do y'all understand? So the worstest of the worst out in these streets is still a wannabe, because they chose that lifestyle. That lifestyle didn't choose them. They chose it. Because when we born, we don't know about none of that stuff. We learn this stuff. Because the devil puts it in the world. And it's just like, almost like how the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was in the middle of the garden. They didn't have to choose it, but they learned deceit and falsehood and erroneous ways, and then they chose the tree. They chose to eat from the tree. So people just like even when I was like maybe 18, 19, people was telling me, man, you're an athlete, man. You need to go ahead and play football. If you make it, we all make it. And that was true. But guess what? The people that were saying it wasn't street, I wasn't street. Ja Morant, you're right. He's not street. But neither are you. What I mean, and matter of fact, why is that desirable? I'll tell you why. Because knowing God and learning about God for most people is undesirable. Why is it undesirable? Because that's the image that people have portrayed it, either with hypocrisy or whatever, by whatever means. That's the image that people portray, leaving it out. They're not learning about it in schools. So that's not desirable. Sin is made to appear desirable more so than being righteous. And therefore, people choose it. So I was having a conversation with one of my cousins about this. And after we had the conversation later on, I was thinking about that. And I was thinking, nobody's street. That's learned behavior, just like racism, being a racist. All of these are learned behaviors that the devil put in the world, and we grabbed it. These are learned behaviors. You ever notice how the babies, no matter what color they are, babies always smile and try to play with me? Like if I'm in a grocery store or something. Asian, white, black, all that. And you ever notice how sometimes the parent either won't trust you, which is understandable because of all the evil in the world, or they might be a racist and they don't want their kids playing with you like that because they don't want their kids to view you like that. And then some of those kids that played with other people of other races and didn't see color when they was babies grow up and start being segregated. They start being divided. They do racist things. They do evil things to each other because that all are learned behaviors. All that stuff is learned. Gang banging is learned. Drug dealing is learned. Anything with the street is learned. We watch movies, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, people getting shot up, people getting robbed, and then we go do it. Learned behavior. As far as black people is concerned, we are practically force-fed that garbage. Because we see people that look like us acting like this stuff is good or something to be desired. And then we see the opposite side of the coin. You see preachers getting caught up in scandals. When some of those preachers be with them peoples just like some of the ones that produce the movies. So we getting force-fed this garbage. And then, just like Adam and Eve, when the serpent came in there glistening, they listened to him. Y'all listen to these dudes, they have all the chains, they have all the name brand designer clothes, they have all the nice cars. But the fact of the reality is, you can get that stuff too. With the right choices, holding a little money back for a little while, saving, managing your money right, you could get that same stuff without even being that way. So, all of this stuff is learned behavior. Ain't nobody really hood, ain't nobody really street. You know, I grew up on 19th and Hampton. People in this area know about 19th and Hampton. But guess what? I wasn't street. Nobody is from there was street. We learned all of that stuff from TV, from movies, from other people that's not going the way they supposed to go in life. It's all learned behavior, man. All of it. All of it. Learned behaviors. So stop telling people they not street. Stop telling John Morant that, because nobody is. Some people are in prison right now. They not street either. They just chose that. That's learned behavior. That's choices. You're choosing. A lot of people are choosing to do the devil's will, killing each other, breaking each other's heart. That's not God's will. God's will is love your neighbor as yourself. Love him with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your strength. Most people do the opposite, including churches, including religious people. Why? Because it's learned. Because the devil, like I tell you all the time, is more active than God, the Most High, chilling. He up there. All right, he think he doing something. Watch this. is the most, if you know can't nobody beat you. He know the devil can't beat him. He chilling. He relaxed. People go to hell every day. He's still up there fixing his golden robe. Hey, shine that diamond back there for me. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't even got to talk at length. I done proved my point. Ain't nobody street. You can kill half the world. You still ain't street. It's all I learned. You wasn't like that when you was born. You wasn't like that when you was little. You learned this. We be watching Jason Voorhees. We be watching Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. We be watching Frank White, Frank Lucas. We be watching, well, I ain't watched it yet, but BMF. We watch all that stuff. And some of y'all admire gangsters. You've been taught to do it. And now we coming to the end of the world. You see what I'm saying? We coming to the end. The Most High is using the people that you admired to bring the end. Then he gonna judge you and them. But y'all don't like people like me though. Can't even hit the like. You won't hit the like button. You want to argue with me in the comments. People I grew up with want to say I'm crazy. Oh man, who he think he is now? He was doing this. And then the other ones, I had a dude tell me, oh, you ain't never leave off your porch. Oh, really? I went more places than he did. But people learn behavior, put each other down. Then you got other people who wasn't even out there with us like that, telling people who's asking them, you asking the wrong people. But the fact is, ain't none of us street. They'll ask a person that wasn't even with you, that lived 5 blocks away, 2 blocks away. Oh man, they wasn't doing it like that. How you know? That's wrong too. People just want to put people down for no good reason. It's not constructive criticism. What they doing in some ways to Ja Morant, what Ja Morant is doing to other people is just a cycle. It's like circular. Ain't nobody street. Nobody's hood. You not masculine because you fight all the time. That's not masculinity. Who God fighting? Who the Most High fighting? Nobody will ever be more masculine than God. And he just sitting there relaxed, waiting to judge all his enemies. And some of y'all is goofy enough to be on the side against him like you gonna somehow win. A lot of y'all got a spiritually criminal mind. You know how, and I know this because I had a criminal mind. It's not something I'm proud of. I'm not street. I'll admit it. I'm not. I just did things out there in the street. Nobody's street. But I had that mindset. That's why when I was working in the jails, people couldn't figure out how I knew what they was going to do. I knew how they thought because I had the mindset. I remember how I was at 16. The only difference was I was getting away and they weren't. The ones that was in there weren't. Nobody's street. Y'all, and some of y'all do, they be on YouTube 40-some years old, still trying to gangbang. Man, you wasn't put in the earth to do that stuff. And one day you're gonna die and you wasted all that time trying to be something that none of us are. And that's all I'm gonna say, man. I gotta get started, man. So next time any of y'all decide to say who's not street, just understand that you ain't either. Angry man, that goes for you too. Cause he's another one on YouTube that always, listen, nobody's street. and you gonna keep trying to prove that, walking around in sketchy areas, don't do that. Don't do that. Because people have been trained psychologically to take what's yours. You're putting yourself in danger. But thanks for watching. Keep tuning in. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix. No thinking you streak, living a life like that and wasting your life. Some people are dead already trying to prove that stuff. No simping, all subjects channel.